you work at like a major zoo.
I do.
Zoos are interesting because they're like half like entertainment tourist attraction and half educational center.
Yeah.
Is there any species of bug that you would eradicate from the world and you get $1 million?
Hello?
Hi, what is your name?
My name is Shrimp.
Shrimp. What's up, Shrimp? How's life?
Life is good. I've been waiting to call in for a while. I'm pretty excited.
Fucking hell yeah, man. Here we are. We are doing the Gecko show. This is gonna be a very low key Gecko show. I don't know what the fuck I just said. I don't know what that means, but I think what
I feel
it
like
means.
they're all pretty low key.
You're right. That's why I feel like they're all pretty low key. So I don't know why I specifically mentioned that this was gonna be low key. I think I'm Shrimp. I feel so horrible. Shrimp, I'm completely bullshitting you right now. I know exactly why I said what I just said, and I'm going to explain to you why I said what I just said.
Please
I told
do.
you. I said that I think I'm very sleepy right now, and so I said to you, this is going to be a low key Gecko session because I was trying to absolve myself from responsibility in the event that my sleepiness makes this a bad conversation. And so I was giving myself an out so that if, for example, I dozed off while we were talking or spaced out, instead of being like, oh, he's kind of spacing out on me while I'm talking to him, you'll just be like, oh, wait, I'm expecting a chill Gecko session. Do you understand the psychology of this?
That is totally fine. And Lyle, if you want to tap out at any point, this is your show, and you can do whatever you want.
All right, I appreciate you giving me permission to do that. I genuinely might take you up on that. But for now, what's up, Shrimp? What do you want to talk about today?
Not much. I am a post-grad and, living in this pretty much recession and just having a tough time with money. And, I'm just struggling along a little bit, but looking for some camaraderie, I feel like I'm in good company on this podcast, so I'm just looking for maybe some advice. I hear you talking about IRAs, and I'm already involved in all that, and I'm just like, what else can I do,
You want advice? You want financial advice?
I don't want financial advice. I think I'm just kind of like looking to moan a little bit about it's tough out here for the post-grads, and I'm just saying y'all are not alone.
I have talked about IRAs on here a lot, haven't I? Like a weird amount.
You have.
Yeah,
and you're pretty financially literate. It's actually pretty inspiring to hear about. I do take a lot of your advice from what I listen to.
Man, I gotta get in with Vanguard or something. Do you know what a high yield savings account is? I was talking to my friend the other day about high yield savings accounts.
I do, and I had to actually pay a lot of taxes because I took money out of an IRA that I was completely oblivious to the fact that you can't do that, and I was like, oh crap. So
no, not an IRA, a high yield savings account. God, this is exciting banter. A high yield savings account.
Sorry, we can talk about something different.
It's not yours. No, that's not. It's not your fault. I'm just snarking it up.
No, I don't have a high yield savings account, unfortunately.
Anyway, what did you graduate with?
So I graduated with a degree in ecology and evolutionary biology.
That sounds real. How come you can't get a job with that? You know what is annoying? Here's the thing.
I have a job.
Okay, you have a job. You have a job.
Yeah.
You have a job.
I do.
I was about to say, if you're a VTuber?
No, I'm a zookeeper.
Oh, I thought you were a VTuber. I was like, oh, all right.
No, that would be worse. Oh God, I probably actually would make more money doing that, honestly.
Here's the thing: is if you graduate with something real, you deserve to make some amount of money. Like if you go to school for like English or film or like theater arts, you know, and you have no money, that makes sense. But if you went to for like biology or chemistry or something, they should give you some money.
Yeah, I mean, the unfortunate thing, you know, I wanted to be a zookeeper and I wanted to work with exotic animals, and, you know, I've done that, and I love my job, and there's a passion tax, you know. I've heard other people that have called in before talk about this, but, you know, you get the job you love after college, and then you're kind of paying the unfortunate, I guess, yeah, passion tax, and that you're not making, you know, necessarily the wage you should make, you know, but the price you pay is that you go into work every day enjoying what you do.
You keep a zoo.
I do.
What zoo?
For the sake of anonymity, I won't say what zoo, but it is an AZA zoo, and I take care of rhinos and giraffe and African hoofstock.
What's an AZA zoo?
So AZA, that's it's the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. So that's like the highest kind of governing body of animals in captivity. So
so you work at like a major zoo?
Yeah.
Dude, hell yeah. Do you like, because zoos are interesting because they're like half like entertainment tourist attraction and half educational center.
Yeah, and so I like initially wanted to get into this for the sake of conservation, and, you know, saving species out in the wild. So a lot of like what we do in captivity translates to what they're doing for research and conservation stuff out in the wild. So I feel good about that. But yeah, it's nice. I also like getting to interact with the guests like day to day and like educating people. That's a fun part of my job.
Now, what's your favorite animal at the zoo?
I do love the rhinos. I can't lie. I'm a rhino girl.
What is it about the rhinos?
They're kind of just like big horses. They're super like gentle. They love getting scritches. They train really well. And the crash that we have are just a bunch of super sweet older folks, and yeah, they're really good kids. I love them a lot. Yeah.
But now, okay, so if you're not making that much money now, is there like what's the career trajectory in zookeeping? Can you, over the years, is it like a long-term career field?
That's just the thing. It's like a lot of the people in my position have been in the field for 15 years or so, and it's like they're still kind of in the same position. So I'm fortunate that I'm a younger keeper, so I've gotten the privilege to kind of move pretty quickly ahead in the career as opposed to some other people. But I think I'm also like seeing, I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I can, you know, do this forever. As happy as I am, I don't think it's like viable. But I think afterwards, I probably want to do something with like USDA or like U.S. Fish and Wildlife. I think that would be probably a little bit more of a solid long-term career plan. But yeah, for now, it's fun getting to interact with all these animals every day and train them and, you know, be part of their lives.
What's going on in U.S. Fish and Wildlife? Is that like do you work for the government? Do you go fishing? What do you do?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not like totally sure. I'm not totally well versed in that career. I don't know many people, if any, like that are part of it. But yeah, it is part of the government. So those are the people that kind of enforce like fishing allotments. They enforce like hunting laws and that kind of thing, which, you know, I didn't grow up hunting or anything, but, you know, I think it's for the sake of conservation of, like, you know, the United States parks and wildlife. So, you know, it's a good cause. But as of recently, you know, the recent Trump stuff, you know, a lot of those governments those agencies have just gotten their budget slashed. So we'll see in a few years, what the status of hiring for those agencies looks like. But I would be interested in working for those. I think that's a good, noble cause.
What's an
We only
animal?
have one world.
What's an animal that most people don't know about? Like everyone knows about monkeys and giraffes and stuff like that. But give us an animal where it's like I didn't even know. Give us an animal that'll make us think we knew all the animals.
That's a super good question. Let me think. Okay, I'll give you guys one animal that I'm about to get on grounds at my zoo. It's called a diker. It's spelled Duiker, and they're
a diker?
A species of antelope. Yeah, diker. So a yellow-backed diker is one of those animals. They're really neat. They're kind of like little forest antelope that are just kind of strange. I recommend looking it up.
Now, what do they eat?
So they eat all sorts of browse, which is like trees, and they'll eat all sorts of veg, kind of similar to like what a goat would eat, But they're kind of neat.
Could one?
I also look.
Do they get eaten by? Do they get eaten by anything?
Yeah, so they can get eaten by like leopards. That's probably the most common thing. Earlier today, I was doing exams on sable antelope. Those guys were pretty neat. Or my favorite, like, weird marsupial is a water opossum. I've looked those up. They're pretty neat.
Would you rather have... All right, you can have $1 million, but all dikers have to die. What would you have?
Oh, no.
What would you do?
No, I would not take my $1 million. The dikers can live.
What?
Cool.
What about like a species of bug, like something no one cares about? Like is there any species of bug that you would eradicate from the world, and you get $1 million?
It's a super like simple answer, but mosquitoes can go. They don't serve any like ecological purpose. They're pretty crappy bugs.
Now I'm gonna fight you on this. What does it mean to serve an ecological purpose? Because fucking doesn't simply existing cause an ecological purpose?
That's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, I will say ecological purpose in the form, I guess, in terms of insects, that could be like digesting bacteria, like detritus, anything like that. Insects are pretty important in our world, but mosquitoes genuinely don't serve any benefit. They don't enrich any of the water supply. They aren't pollinators, excuse me. Like, as an insect, they aren't really helping plants or animals in any way. They're just kind of vectors for disease.
So you'd get rid of all of them for $1 million?
I would. There are people trying to figure out how to do that already, but yeah, I think it's kind of a easy answer, but yeah, mosquitoes.
Listen, I don't judge on this show, but I think that's pretty fucked up. What's your name?
Mosquitoes?
What's your name again?
Shrimp.
Shrimp, is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
It costs $0 to be kind. Just be nice to people. It's easy.
What if somebody asks you for... Hold on. There have been many times where somebody asks me for $1, and it would be nicer to give them the $1. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. But in that situation, it doesn't cost $0 to be kind.
I guess that's fair. But
so it costs... But there are... I would rephrase what you said. I would say... It costs $0 to be kind in certain situations, and in other situations, it will cost more money.
That's a fair point. I did get heckled by a musician holding a bucket recently for $1, and I did feel kind by giving him $1, and I guess that wasn't free. So you're right.
Thank you, Shrimp.
You're welcome, Lyle. Thank you.
I'm trying to think of more. When else does it cost? Christmas, if you're giving people Christmas presents, that's nice, but that costs money. Yeah, there's a lot of ways where being kind costs money. I'm trying to think of more. I feel like most ways of being kind, like the ways of being kind that don't cost money are kind of bullshit. Like holding a door open for someone, that doesn't cost any money, but nobody's life is genuinely positively impacted that much by someone holding a door open for them. So, if you want to be really kind to somebody, give them $3,000. That will impact their life and give them joy, but it won't be free for you.
Lyle?
Hey, hi. Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah, my name is Jay. How are you?
Jay, how am I? I'm actually doing all right today. I feel pretty stable. I feel pretty normal. I feel safe. Do you feel safe?
I do feel safe. I'm at home with my wife and children, and yeah, I feel pretty safe. Yeah.
How long have you had a wife and child?
Well, I've been married for about 5 years, and we just had our third kid on the 12th of last month.
3 children. Let me ask you something. Is there anything like how old were you when you had your first kid?
I was 24, about to turn 25.
Wow, okay. How significantly different is your life before you had kids to after?
I would say it's been a very positive change. Before I had kids, I was just kind of running amok and doing a bunch of drugs and not really caring. And now that I have kids, I'm stable and work a lot and have responsibility, and I take that very seriously. So, yeah, I would say it's a pretty significant change.
What kind of drugs were you doing?
Oh, man, a lot. I was drinking, smoking weed, snorting Molly, cocaine, LSD, mushrooms. Yeah, just just partying it up, you know.
And have you completely, utterly ceased the drug use since you had your first kid, or have you found some time? You know, look, you don't want to be a piece of shit alcoholic dad, but are you ever like, hey, honey, can you watch the kids for a weekend so I can do a bunch of drugs?
Definitely not. You know, I stopped smoking weed about a year ago. Well, I can't say completely. I've smoked about 4 times since last March. And I drink pretty regularly, but nothing crazy. I'll drink, you know, maybe 4 to 6 beers a couple times a night. A couple times weekly. So, you know, nothing significant, but I just want to say really quick, holy shit, I am talking to Lyle. Bro, I was just watching you on YouTube and talking to my wife because I've been listening to you for like 5 years. Cool. And then I saw that you were live and I called you. And bro, I cannot believe I'm actually talking to you right now. I have called you probably over 500 times over the years.
Wow.
This is just awesome.
Dude, thanks, man.
Yeah, bro, I enjoy your content. I love watching your YouTube videos. I listen to you at work all the time. I listen to your podcast daily. I just want to say that. I just bro, this is awesome. Like, I can't believe I got connected to you.
Thank you. That makes me feel really nice. I always, I get in my head all the time about like, oh, I don't know if people still listen to this show. I've been thinking about that the entire time I've been doing it. Even like 6 months in, I was like, I don't know how long this journey is gonna last. So to have someone listening for 5 years is very, very nice. I appreciate that. What did you say your name was? Did I get your name?
Let's just say my name's Jay.
Jay. All right. Well, interesting. Okay, so I have a lot of things about your life that I'm generally curious about, but if you've listened to the show for so long, I have to ask: is there anything that you always, as you've listened, thought that you might want to talk about when you got the chance to talk?
Yeah, definitely. And I think talking about my life now is a good preface to what I would want to discuss if you would like to talk about it.
Yeah, hit me.
All right. Well, man, when I was 15, I grew up in a pretty abusive household, both with my stepdad. My mom, she wasn't too bad, but my stepdad was pretty bad, and my dad was pretty bad. And I ran away from my mom's house, and I was on the run for, man, I don't know, like 3 months. I stopped going to school, and when they found me, they put me into like this, man, I'm not sure what to call it. I would say it was like kind of a holding stage where I was there with a bunch of other kids, and it was kind of like a juvenile pod, right? But it wasn't like jail. Like they couldn't touch you, you could leave. So I ended up doing that. So I'm in Utah, and at that point, I ended up in Salt Lake with this kid I had met at that center. And we ran away. It was like, man, 9 or 10 at night. And we hopped on the tracks, which connects like the Wasatch Front, which is just the mountain range. So we hopped on the tracks and we rode out to Salt Lake, hoping that no one would try to check our tickets, and no one did. And we got off in Salt Lake in the Rose Park area. And we just kind of walked around, and we were just like, man, we should get some weed. Like, let's try to find some weed. So we ended up at the 7-Eleven. We met this homeless guy, and he was like, yeah, come back and we could smoke weed. So he had like this little shack sort of set up behind like this car wash. So we smoked some weed with him. We spent the night. And he was like, yeah, you can come back if you don't have a place to stay, And he wasn't like weird or anything. Like he was just, helping us out really. And we were like, okay. So the next day we came back towards the end of the night, and he ended up getting like some meth. So I'm 15, ran away from this place. I'm on the run again, and we smoked meth all night. And so like, man, I remember I had checked the time, and I was like, what time is it? And it was like, 9 a.m. or something. And I was like, holy crap. Like we were up all night, bro. And I was just wandering, like, I think it was like West Valley at that point. I don't even know where I was. A cop ended up picking me up. I turned 16 in juvenile detention and spent a year in a boys' home. And yeah, bro, it was just an absolutely insane time.
And that was over the course of 3 months.
Well, not the whole thing. So like I said, I ran away when I was 15. And like I was on the run for 3 months. Then they found me. I was in that place for like a week or two before me and this kid decided to run away. And I would say I was on the run at that point for another, I don't know, couple weeks, maybe a month. And then, like I said, I got picked up by a cop. He realized who I was. he put me in this like this kid's home again when they were going to transport me up back. So I spent I think it was like a month in juvie. Like I said, I turned 16 in juvie, and then they were trying to find like a rehab center for me. And so I spent a year in that boys' home in like the middle of Utah, because I was considered a flight risk. So it was in the middle of nowhere, so there was nowhere to go. And then I completed that successfully, and my life just continued to move forward.
And did you end up going to college after this? Or did you graduate high school?
So I didn't graduate per se because no one would let me in. I ended up getting my GED, and right now I am trying to complete my bachelor's.
What do you do for work?
I've been going. So I work for a landscaping company. So I do like a multitude of things there. I do like the fertilizing part of it. And then also over the winter when it's less busy, I'm pretty tech savvy. I built them a website, and like I said, I'm going to college and I'm trying to pursue a marketing degree. So like right now I'm helping them with marketing, and over the winter I help them with marketing. I do like social media posts and Google ads, and yeah, so.
And what's the story of how is it your wife right now? Is this the mother of all three of your kids?
Yep.
What,
We've been married for 5 years.
What's the story of how you met her?
So we met on Facebook dating out of all of the things. And so she was about an hour away, and I went up and we kind of hit it off, and then we kept talking, and yeah, that's been the story ever since. We met the summer of 2020. And we had our first.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. Oh yeah, I was just going to say we met the summer of 2020, and we had our daughter the summer of 21.
And no drugs, you said. We're totally done with the drugs now.
Oh yeah, like I said, since last March, I quote unquote, I guess, have quit weed. But I've smoked 4 times in the past year. But like I said, I drink beer, but yeah, I don't do anything anymore. I take the responsibility of being a dad very seriously, and I bust my ass at work and try to get overtime, and yeah, no drugs, man, no drugs. I take the responsibility of providing for my children very seriously.
How is that responsibility going for you? Are you enjoying it? Are you feeling fulfilled and happy and safe and all those good things?
Man, I mean, don't get me wrong, I am fulfilled. It's just a lot, especially, I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-month-old, and it's it's like a circus. I love them a lot. It's just sometimes it's very stressful, and I don't know how to express those feelings. It's like I'm definitely fulfilled. I love them a lot. Sometimes though, I wish we would have waited until we were a little more stable. And it's not like we're not stable, my wife and I, we both work, and we have a decent sized apartment, but it's definitely a lot, I'm going to turn 29 in a couple of months, and it's definitely a lot right now, like people at work. they're 8, 6 years older, and they don't have 3 kids. And I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, man, what would it be like if we weren't so financially stressed? You know what I mean? So, but I definitely enjoy being a parent, and I love them so much, and they make me so happy. And but it's definitely very stressful to try to make everything work. You know, rent and food and diapers and wipes and, you know, blah 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 blah. So.
But I bet it makes you, my understanding of it is that it puts you very much like in life. You know, there's not a lot of time to, you know, fritter away thinking about bullshit when you have, you know, all that responsibility.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I work full time, and, you know, I come home and my wife works nights because childcare is insanely expensive. And so I come home and she leaves, and I take care of them, and when I put them to bed, I do school. I'm in school full time. It's all online. Yeah, there's not a lot of time to worry about bullshit, I guess. You just got to do it, and I know at a certain point in my life, financial stress will go away. My wife wants to do school, and I'm currently doing my school, and, you know, hopefully it will all pay off, and in a couple of years we'll be financially stable for once in our life, and everything will just kind of be smooth sailing. That's the hope and the dream, of course.
What is your name again? I know you made one up for me.
Oh, it's Jay.
Jay. Well, thanks for sharing your life story, Jay. This is interesting. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about like kids and what life with kids would look like. So it's definitely a subject that I'm quite fascinated in. But it seems across the board, the people that I've talked to about it feel as though the responsibility that it gives them is like a good thing, and makes them, you know, feel fulfilled and nice. So I appreciate you giving us your perspective on how it's played like a role in your life, man.
Can I ask you a question, Lyle?
Yeah, go ahead. Hit me.
Like I said, I've listened to you forever, and I listened to your podcast today, and just like 5 minutes ago, I was watching you on YouTube. Do you have someone special in your life? Like, I don't hear anyone really asking about you.
People ask about me. People do ask about me.
Not very often, though.
Look, just at the beginning. Look, at the beginning of this call, you asked me how I was doing. That was asking about me.
Right. I guess.
That was asking about me. I feel like I volunteer a decent amount of, I guess I volunteer a decent amount of, I guess, emotional information. Less logistical information. But I'm not married, if that's what you're asking.
No, that's not. Do you have anyone special in your life?
Do I have anyone special in my life?
That maybe you feel like, yeah, I could have kids. Yeah, I could spend forever with this person.
Oh, no.
Do you have that person?
No, I don't have anyone in my life that I'm at this moment like ready to spend forever with.
Right.
That'd be nice. But, you know, being I think being married and having children would be nice, but I also feel it's something I would definitely like to do in my lifetime. But
I could see you being a great parent. Just like I don't know, like just listening to you and watching you all these years, like I feel like I know you in a sense, even though we've never met, right? And I feel like you would be a very good parent. Like you're just like calm, collective, and I don't know, some of the insights you have really helped, you know, in my life, and I feel like you'd be a good parent, Lyle. I feel like
thanks,
you'd be
man.
a kick-ass dad.
You want to fucking be my son? I'll adopt you.
Hell yeah! Even though I'm older than you, hell yeah, bro.
I'll be your son. I'll be your son. You can be my son, and I'll be your father, and your children can be my grandchildren, and that way,
Bro,
and then you can see
dream.
for yourself whether or not I would be a good father. You can
that
see
sounds
for yourself.
awesome.
I'll feed you. I'll change your diaper. I'll do it all. You'll be sitting, dude. You'll be spayed out on a table, and you can take a shit in your underwear, and I'll change them, and you could be like, I was right, dude. Lyle's a great fucking dad.
I don't think you want to see that, but hey, if you want to go that route, let's do it, bro.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people? I'm sorry if I forgot the fake name that you gave me again, but I'm bad with it. Is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
I just want to say, like, this is awesome. I didn't expect to get through. I really enjoyed talking to you. And I hope you keep doing this podcast. I know you have, you know, your own doubts as a human, but bro, just keep pushing forward. And like I on every day when I get to work, I look on Spotify and see if a new podcast came out, and if it does, you're the first thing I listen to in the morning. So just keep pushing, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me in your ears, man. I really appreciate it. I'll keep seeing you around the universe of the computer, my friend. And congratulations on your beautiful life.
You know what? Congratulations on your beautiful life as well, Lyle.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, take care, man.
You too.
That was a sweet guy. That was a nice guy. That's going to be my son one day. I respect having the responsibility to have kids. Do I have somebody special in my life? You know, I am, you know, whatever. All right, let's keep going. Hi, what's your name?
Darren.
Darren. What's up, Darren?
There's not much, bro. It's a cloudy day. Decided to call you, and I'm surprised I got through.
Here we are, Darren. Here we are, Darren. Here we are.
Yeah.
We're talking on a podcast listened to by at least 100 people, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We're chitting. We're chatting. We're alive. What's up?
Hell yeah.
How's it going, man? Let's talk.
It's going, like I would say, life is going all right, but, you know, I'm living life, you know, trying to have a good time. You know, we're here on the earth. And, yeah, I mean, I decided to call you, and I'm surprised I got through. That's amazing. It's freaking amazing.
Did you have anything you wanted to talk about today, Darren? It's fine if not. We can just pal around.
Well, I guess I'll say life. You know, well, what will you think about? Well, what is life? Like, what's the point of living?
What is life and what's the point of living? Those are great questions. I've been wrestling with a lot of those questions. And you know, Darren, I have realized something. I've realized something, Darren. Do you know what I've realized?
Huh?
I've realized that the questions, what's the point of living? What is life? You know, what happens after we die? What is consciousness? Why am I me and other people are other people? I've deeply been wrestling with a lot of these questions in kind of a scary, existential way for about 2 months. It's been really scary and weird, and I felt like I've been in a bizarro Coen Brothers movie or something, just by the nature of my own consciousness being a bit of a torment for what, and not because I'm dark and cool, but just because it's bizarre. It's a weird thing to be alive, and I've been thinking about the answers to these questions, and then I realized, wait a minute, I'm actually not dark and cool at all, because people have been trying to answer these questions since the fucking dawn of man. I mean, philosophers and whatever, science fucking people and religion people, everyone's been trying to answer these questions. It's people way smarter than me. I mean, I've dedicated 2 months of going on Reddit and talking to ChatGPT. Other people, they dedicate their whole lives. They read books. They write books. They try to find the answers to the universe. They take science. They do the theory of the universe, whatever the fuck that is, by the guy in the wheelchair, you know? Okay? And you know what's the craziest part about all these people throughout the history of consciousness looking for the answers to all these questions, Darren? Do you want to know the craziest thing?
What's the craziest thing?
They don't have an answer, Darren. They don't have an objective answer to any of these questions, so my dumbass is not going to get high and figure it out right now, and probably not ever in my lifetime, and possibly not ever for the entirety that any life is ever all things. And so you know what I'm going to do in the face of that information, Darren?
Yes.
I'm going to go on walks. I'm going to hang out with my friends. I'm going to make cool, interesting things. I'm going to eat a chicken Parmesan sandwich. I'm going to watch a YouTube video that goes through the history of weird Pop-Tart flavors, and then I'm going to die. And you know what? It's going to be as nice as it can be. That's what I'm going to do.
I could agree with that. Right now, I'm just, living life and petting my dog, It's a good thing. Life is, having a good time. Life is living with your pets. Life is living good with your friends. And life is, do whatever you want. Have a good time. You're here on this thing called Earth. And you know what? Make the best out of it.
Do you think, it's when people would say, before I went crazy, people would say, oh, are we like the idea that we're living in a simulation?
Like
that never made sense. That never made sense to me. And then lately, the idea I've come around to it that we might be living in a simulation.
You might never know. We could have taken the red pill, blue pill sometime in our life, and either we're living here in this life or we're living here in this simulation. But who knows, man? It's like we're living in GTA. Life is fucking wild, and things could happen left to right.
You ever seen The Truman Show?
Yes, I have. It's a good movie. It's such a good movie.
I think about that shit. Not that like life's a TV show, but it's a very narcissistic thing to think. But there also is like weird, like your consciousness is the only consciousness that's verifiable. There's a word for this. I think I talked about this in a recent podcast. And so you could argue that because you're the only conscious being that you can like truly verify their consciousness, that you actually are the center of the universe and you are the only living thing and your personal life is a simulation and you live in the Truman Show.
It's like saying like there's infinite stars, each star has its own life and we could be one of those stars in this infinite universe. I'm a sucker for galaxies and space and stars like that, but I always look up into the sky and I'm like, you know what? It's in a whole nother planet where I'm thinking like that, and it could be different.
What planet do you want to visit the most?
To be honest, I do not know, but if life is out there and the stars, sky, space, stuff like that, I would like to visit a planet where it's like, you know what, life is good. Life is better than what I'm living at.
Would you ever go to the moon?
I would love to.
What would you want to do there?
Spacewalk, space jump, and, just throw myself out there, levitate, and just discover moon people out there if it's possible.
Bro, if you were on the moon, you would be the moon person.
Yeah, that's true. I'll be the only moon person on the moon.
What is it? Who are you? Darren, who are you? What is your life like?
My life is, I'm a guy who likes going to shows, has to work a day job from 7 to 3, and, enjoys a beer here and there. Well, not enjoys a beer here and there, but enjoys a beer every day. And just like petting my dogs, I'm a dog person, but it's just life, how life is treating me right now. I'm trying to make the best out of it.
Let me think here. What is your day job?
I do landscaping.
You do landscaping. Who is that in the background?
That was my best friend who works with me too.
I like how you were about to say friend, and you're like, no. I must clarify that this is my best friend.
Yes,
That's
I have
really
I have a
wholesome.
lot. I have a lot of best friends since school, and we've been friends ever since then. I consider them as family, best friends, all that.
Do you rank your friends in your head very often? Like, oh, this is like, could you tell me a ranking of all your friends?
I used to back in the MySpace days. You could choose your top 6. Nowadays, it's just like they've been there since I was introduced to them, and they're all number 1. To be honest.
That's really nice. There's none that you like. Are you friends with anyone that you're just kind of friends with because they've been around and you secretly hate them?
Yeah, there was one friend. I'm not sure if I could say his name, but
I mean, you physically can, but you're not sure if it's a good idea.
We used to call him Chewbacca, but not Chewbacca, but like more like Chewbacca in a way. It was just a joke, a gag, I guess you could say. He was a good friend. It just, I guess he tried too much to be with us. And we could understand, like, he tried to hang out with us a lot, but we weren't just feeling it with him. I mean, we kept him around here and there, but he was a bit too much sometimes. And yeah, I guess he was one of those friends who, he's okay in a way, but he was all right.
What was it about him that you felt was too much?
He tried to kick it with us almost every day, but he always buy us pizza almost every day. So
wait, do you not want to hang out with your friends every day?
Well, yeah, I would, but sometimes there's days where it's like you just try to do your own thing, and it's like you just want to do your own thing, and every other day hang out with your friends. But no, this guy used to wants to hang out every day of the week, every day of the month, like be there constantly. I'm like, okay, I understand you want to be there, but like, come on, like at least let me chill for a day or so, like like you're cool and all, but it just kind of gets annoying here and there. And I'm not talking bad about him. He was cool and all, but after a while, it's just like what, like come on, like I'm pretty sure you got other people to hang out with here and there, but to hang out with me 24/7, it's all right, I guess.
Do you think you're fun to hang out with 24/7?
I wouldn't say I'm not that fun. From my perspective, I don't know how other people think about me, but I like to have a fun time. I like to have a good time with people.
What do you usually do when you're having a fun time?
I try to drink with them, have a good time, make jokes, and it's just I guess whatever every other people try to do, just make the whatever time is happening around you guys the best time, because you can never know when it could be the last day you can hang out with them. And
it's true.
To me, it's always like, yeah, like I'm happy to see you, but just make the best out of it.
What's your name, Darren?
Yes.
You seem like a nice guy, Darren.
Honestly, I don't feel like I'm the best guy. I just try to make the best of everything.
What made you say that just now, that you don't feel like you're the best guy?
Because I see other people make the best of things with everyone else, and I feel like I'm just like a regular guy on this earth. And I follow, like, to me, like an example, Ozzy Osbourne. That guy, I wish I could have a life like him. That guy to me, he's a fucking legend. And I wish I could have a life like him, but not like a drug addict, but just to have a life like him. But to me, I try to live a life like a rock star. I try to make the best out of it. Sure, I've gotten in trouble here and there, but you know what? I'm just happy to be here. Happy to have the best friends I have. Well, to be honest, they're brothers to me. Like everyone around me is like brother to me. It's just brother, sister, but you know what? It's just life is life.
Why do you want to live like Ozzy Osbourne?
I look up. I will say I will look up to him. He's a god to me in a way, but not the drug addict part. I can't.
Well,
understand
then
that.
tell me what parts do you desire for your life that you scrape from Ozzy Osbourne?
Like going to shows and playing in front of a lot of people. Because I'm a musician myself. I play drums, and you know I wish to achieve that goal like how Ozzy had. I mean, he still has it. He's old. I mean, he's playing his last show in fucking Birmingham, which I would wish to go, but yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, it's UK.
Oh,
yeah.
You ever been to the UK?
No, but I was planning to go to Dublin maybe later this year, in July, August, but I don't think that's gonna happen anymore. But maybe next year I'll plan to go to Europe, because right now I'm just visiting Japan. That's a fucking amazing spot to visit.
But you're in Japan right now?
No. I wish I was, but I've been there twice already.
Oh, when are you going to Japan?
Hopefully in Halloween.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully.
Why did your Dublin trip get canceled?
What happened?
Why did your Dublin trip get canceled?
Well, because the thing is, I'm in a financial spot. It's kind of crappy right now for me. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough funds to go out there, like do that Euro trip, then go and do that Japan trip. So I'm kind of in the pickle if debating going in Europe or Japan. But for me, it's just I want to go to Japan more.
Yeah, I also want to go to Japan more, man. Japan rocks.
It's amazing. It's crazy because the first time I went, when I went, I told myself, I'm here in Japan, a new country, like foreign to me. The first thing I do is try a fucking Japanese restaurant out there. You know, I'm not going to try any American restaurants that are out there. I'll try a Japanese restaurant out there. I went there, fucking amazing. Like, the guy gave me a boar steak. Like, a boar steak. Never had that before. And I visited that spot. I visited that guy like 2-3 times when I was there. And told him, hey, next time I come here, I'm gonna fucking visit your restaurant. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. So I went there again that same year later. And I walked in, and I'm like, hey. And he's like, oh, my best friend. I was like, what? And I was like, holy shit, that's fucking amazing, dude. Like, being recognized, like being remembered by someone out there. Like, you've only met once, and he remembers you a couple months later. I'm like, dude, that's fucking amazing.
Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice. You have friends in Tokyo.
Yeah, you can say friends in Tokyo. It's cool. It's fucking cool.
Darren, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
I would say, to everyone listening, I'll listen to you on Spotify.
Cool.
And YouTube, this and that. I just, it's crazy to be on live right now. I never thought this would happen. It's my first time calling. And yeah, it's crazy. Also, I want to say to all the people that work in landscaping like me, fucking big thumbs up, because it's a hard work out there. But yeah, I'm happy to be on Therapy Gecko. I'm happy, it's fucking amazing.
Thank you very much, Darren. Have a good rest of the night.
Actually, hold up.
Yeah,
how are you doing? How
am I doing? How am I doing? Yeah, you want to know how I'm doing, Darren?
Yes, tell me how are you doing?
You want to know how I'm doing? You motherfucker, you want to know how I'm doing?
Yes, senor.
All I want to do is eat. right now. I'm just like, all I want to do. I don't know where my ambition went. I mean, it's still here. I'm very ambitious mentally, but physically, I'm just, oh my god, all I want to do is like, fuck, dude. Right now, like, if I could do any, the question, if you can wave a magic wand on me doing anything with your life,
like Harry Potter type of stuff.
Yeah, I've been thinking, and a lot of throughout my life, a lot of the answers to that question have usually involved like, I don't know, being on a like some kind of something creative, or being in an orgy or something like that. But right now, I really mean this. If I could be doing anything with my life in this very moment right now, I would eat 2 pints of Ben & Jerry's peanut butter s'mores ice cream. No, I would get 1 pint of Ben & Jerry peanut butter s'mores ice cream, and then another pint of Ben & Jerry peanut butter half-baked. And I would just do that. I don't know why.
You know what?
I don't know. I that's all I want to do with my life right now. That's like my career goal right now, is to eat that fucking ice cream. I don't know why, and I don't even feel guilty about it. That's just how I feel. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I don't. But that just feels like like in the narrative of my life, it feels like that's the next chapter, is to eat 2 pints of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. That's how I feel right now.
You know what, Gecko? I can envision that. I hope you do that. Live your best life, and I hope you eat those 2 pints of ice cream, and you better fucking enjoy it, man. Like,
oh yeah,
enjoy it. Fucking enjoy it. Like, enjoy it, man. You're gonna love it.
Dude, you're a great guy, Darren. You're a great guy. I'm sorry I forgot your name, but I don't even. You're just a fucking chill guy.
You said it right now.
You're a chill fucking guy, Darren.
Hey, so hopefully I can call you again. I hope to talk to you again. And I love listening to your podcast.
Thank you, Darren.
Yeah, I listen to you on Spotify, YouTube, like I said, and hopefully in the future I can get another call with you, and I'll be fantastic talking to you again.
Darren, keep living your best life, man. All right, you're something special.
You too, Therapy Gecko. I fucking love you, man.
Love you too, Darren. Bye.
Bye.
Darren's a bad influence. He's a super cool guy, though. He's a bad influence. There's no way. I should eat 2 fucking pints of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. But he's a good guy. I really did feel that way talking to him. He really seemed like just a fucking... Sometimes you just meet a person, or you chat with them, and you're just like, what a fucking real-ass motherfucker. He just felt that way. He just felt like a no bullshit, no fake shit guy. His hero is Ozzy Osbourne. That doesn't make any sense. I've never heard a person say anything close to that, and that just makes me like him more. Shout out to Darren.
Oh my god, hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Andrea.
Andrea. What's up, Andrea? How is life going?
It's going good. Yeah. I just came back from Target with my mom.
Okay. How old are you, Andrea?
24.
How was going to Target with your mom?
It was good. Yeah. I'm big into quarter zips, so I got a new quarter zip. I have nothing to say because I didn't expect to even get on.
Going to Target with your mom is a psychedelic experience. A lot of the things that when I was a kid bored me, I've come to realize are very, very psychedelic experiences. Like sitting at the dinner table with your mom. It's psychedelic. You're on a planet. You're in the illusion of whatever. I'm having you can have a sober psychedelic experience being at Target with your mom. You can look around and go, what the fuck is all this? What is this camera that's always on in my head that's, and your mom's looking at you and she's saying, "Oh, this might be cheaper than this thing," and you just have no idea. You're like, who even are you? Have you ever wondered, like, is my mom real?
No, I mean, we were at Five Guys before I came home, and she was just talking to me, and I just like was listening, and I just like was looking in her eyes, and I was like, wow, like she's a lot older than she was when I was like 12, and it's just she like physically looks like older, not bad, but like she just obviously looks older than from when I was younger like that, and that kind of like hit. But yeah,
I've had that moment too, because I've had that moment too because I've you know, I don't live in the same city as my parents, but I live near them. But every time I go back to see them, they look older. Yeah.
Yeah. Not to change the subject, but when you were doing the Gek mail thing, which is like my favorite thing, I sent you an email back in like January. But aside from like everything in the body of it, my PS was what is your favorite Celsius flavor?
Oh, did I answer?
No, you didn't. It was very heartbreaking, but it's all right. It's all right.
What is my favorite Celsius flavor? Depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Let me tell you a brief story. It's such a brief story. It's like a one sentence story. It's not even a story. I was like really depressed for like a few days in a row, and I just couldn't be here. I couldn't like be present in the universe. I was too locked into my brain and thoughts in a bad way, and I went to the grocery store, and I went to the grocery store I go to has a Celsius fridge. It has its own fridge dedicated to Celsius, and I opened it, and I saw that they had a pina colada. It's called Playa Vibe. It's a pina colada flavor, and I looked at it and I went, "Ooh, Playa Vibe." I said that out loud, and that was that was the first time I felt connected to reality in I think 3 days. Was like just the excitement of a pina colada Celsius. And then after that, I was like, oh, okay, all right. I that was good. That was a great moment for me because I was like, all right, I can still maintain interface with the universe. And I did get it. I did drink it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Shit cures depression, by the way, Celsius. I don't know what it does in the long term to your actual health, but it'll make you feel like God if you drink a couple of them.
I always have a fridge stocked of Celsius. That is, I almost had like every flavor of it, so that's why I felt qualified enough to ask the question.
I just felt in that moment, I was like, ooh, Playa Vibe. And I was like, ooh, there I am. I'm back. We're here. I'm alive.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
not very big fan of. No, I'm not a big fan of pina colada, so I can't really vibe with you there.
Yeah, motherfucker. Okay, what's yours?
Well, the one nutrition store near me has all the Celsius flavors there, and they have like a cherry Coke flavor, and I feel like a lot of places can't mess up Coke flavor, so that one's pretty good. Other than that, they have the Arctic Vibe, pretty basic flavor, but it is pretty good.
I like the Arctic Vibe. I like the. By the way, this is not a sponsored Celsius thing. I genuinely love Celsius. I was looking at By the way, I love the cherry Coke one, the Coke one. If I'm in like a no nonsense, no bullshit, I am here to get some shit done mode, I just get orange. No vibe, no prickly cactus sherbet cola, whatever bullshit. Orange, regular orange. I had a grape one the other day. It sent me crazy. I drank a grape Celsius the other night. Was it? Dude, maybe this was yesterday. I think, yesterday I drank a grape Celsius, and then I started I was taking a shit and I started singing on the toilet, and I was sending videos of myself on the toilet singing to my group chat of friends. And I must have sent like 6 videos of me just on the toilet being like, I love making diarrhea with my ass. And I want to make a movie about diarrhea from my ass. Judd Apatow will produce my diarrhea movie. And I'm just singing and I'm taking a shit. I made like 6 of those videos. It was an awesome day.
Wow, yeah. What an absolute honor to receive a video like that.
Yeah. So no, it just makes you feel like God, you know, like you can do anything.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just another thing I mentioned in the email was, my boyfriend actually told me about your podcast last year, and I've just been listening to it like almost every day.
Oh, kick ass! Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's good one. Yeah.
A lot of people have told me that they fall asleep to the podcast. And,
no, I'm active. I am very active in listening.
Cool.
And no sleeping.
Cool. I've recently become a fall asleep to the TV guy. That's what's going on in my life. It's actually a great development, man. I look forward every night. I put on 4 hours of Game Boy Advance game trivia, and fucking knocks me right out. It's the best.
Oh, we've been doing pop culture Jeopardy with Colin Jost.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I don't know that guy, but he's probably.
Oh.
What do you think he's like in real life?
Probably sits on the toilet after a grape Celsius and just sings songs.
I don't know. He seems like a pretty together guy. He seems like you go to his house and he has like a bowl of fruit on a desk, and like he goes, "Oh, that's a great idea," and then he like does it, you know, and then he just seems like a normal guy. I don't know him, but like he seems like he has like knives in his house and he uses them to cut like lettuce.
Are you just going based off of just his name? Like you don't know who this guy is at all?
I know who Colin Jost is.
Oh, yeah, he's like on. I just know him on there, but I know he's like SNL or whatever.
Yeah. Where do you think we go when we die?
Where do we go when we die? I'm not like super religious or anything. I think that we go to the sky and we just are in another universe, and we just can eat whatever and do whatever. You were just talking to the one guy before, and you said something about like what's one thing that you wish you could be doing or whatever right now, and you said about eating the ice cream. But then I was thinking something on the same lines as that almost, but like being able to eat, but there's like no calories involved.
Yeah, that could be awesome. Oh my god. Yeah, there's no calorie. It just makes it as if. I mean, you can do that. It's called binging and purging, but it's not recommended.
Yeah. No, your throat will not be happy afterwards.
Yeah, doctors do not recommend, but I mean, it is physically possible. What's your name again?
Andrea.
Andrew, we've been talking for about 11 minutes right now, and I was about to end our conversation, but I just want to check in with you. Do you feel like you got everything that you desired from this conversation? And is there anything I can do to make this conversation a better experience for you before we do leave?
Well, I wish I could have talked to you a little bit more, but you know, I'm just happy that I was able to get on in the first place.
We can talk. What do you want to talk about?
Oh no, like just shooting the shit. It was just cool that I was able to even talk to you.
Let me think. All right, let me think of one more thing we can talk about before we go.
Oh, well, I guess if you like read my email then in the next in the next Gek mail.
Oh, did you send another email?
No, I didn't send another one. It's just back in January.
Oh, wait, did I ever read your email?
No, you never did.
Oh, what was in the email?
I talked about like my school. Man, it was so long ago. Yeah, I talked about school, but if you want to go, I don't want to keep you on.
You can talk about school. We're chilling.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I just ended my semester. Basically, the whole thing was that like I got accepted into like this national society for radiology, and I just said in the email that I don't know, I just didn't feel like I was the right person for the pick.
Why not?
I don't know, because there's a lot of people in my program. Well, my program's like very strict, so like they only pick 20 people out of like hundreds of applicants. And I was one of the people to get picked for that, and like that's cool and all. It's like based off of like your grades and like how you interview with like all the teachers and stuff, and there's like 6 teachers that you interview with. And you had to do like this professional points thing at the end of the schooling. It's like another class, and it's like a grade then. So like 100 points equals 100% for the assignment. 50 of the points comes from applying to this national society. And then if you get accepted, that's another 50 points. So then you get 100 right there. And I kind of like applied to it the day before it was due, and you had to like meet a word count for the essay. And I got below the word count, but then again, there's like, you know, a bunch of people who apply for this stuff. But like I only applied just because of the points. I wasn't like expecting to get accepted, so I'm thinking like there's probably other people out there that probably would have actually cared, I guess, in lack of better terms.
That's okay that you got a thing that you don't care that much about.
Yeah, I guess. I guess it was just like a mental thing. Like I don't know. Like yeah, I get it that it like good that like I got
listen. It's all rigged. All of it.
It's all rigged.
It's all rigged. You know it's all rigged. It's all rigged. Sometimes it's rigged in your favor. Sometimes it's rigged against your favor. But it is all rigged. And if it's rigged in your favor, you know, it's not like you took away something from someone else.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I feel it.
So you wrote all that, and then what is your favorite Celsius flavor?
Essentially, yeah, something like that. And then I just like met you for my boyfriend. He used to listen to you a lot, I guess, when he was working at a foundry.
How's he doing? What's he doing now? Who's he listening to now?
Who's he listening to now? No one really. I mean, he's watching your stream as you're talking to me.
Oh shit. Okay, he's not he's not like listening to the Bad Friends podcast or something.
No, I don't know. Do you listen to anybody else? No, he doesn't get to listen to anybody at his new job like he did at the old one.
Oh man. Well,
yeah.
Can you tell him I said hi?
He said hi.
What's up, Lyle?
He said, "What's up,
going,
Lyle?"
Man? I like this guy. I like this guy. This guy's a cool guy. I'm glad that you guys are dating.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He's a chill guy.
What's your name again?
Andrea. Yeah.
Andrea, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Yeah. If you are trying to get into the stream, call at minimum 200 times.
Good luck on all of your life endeavors, Andrea.
You too, Lyle. Thanks for talking.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What is your name, cowboy?
My name is Lilith.
Lilith.
Yes.
Lilith. Where are you calling from, Lilith?
I'm calling from Germany.
Ah, yes, Germany. What part of where in Germany?
I'm pretty much in the middle, like near Frankfurt. You might have heard of it. It's like the Silicon Valley of Germany.
Frankfurt is the Silicon Valley of Germany?
Maybe. I don't really know what the Silicon Valley is, so.
Yeah. I respect that. I also use metaphors and things that I don't know what the hell they mean, and I've gotten a lot of mileage off of people not prodding me further on what I mean when I say certain things, because I would not be able to answer them at all.
Mm-hmm, but it works. It works a lot. Like when you're talking to someone who maybe doesn't really question what you're saying, then it works. But then when someone calls you out, it can be really embarrassing.
Aren't those the best kinds of people, though? I fucking hate when you start, like, talking to somebody and you're saying things and they ask you to elaborate on them. I hate talking to those people. I want somebody who just will let me say a bunch of nonsense to them that may or may not make sense and just goes, yeah, no, totally, absolutely, you know? Those are the best kinds of people, is people who they don't go, what do you mean by Rhode Island is the Luxembourg of America? You know? Yeah. I guess they're both small, but that's fuck those people. I'm gonna put this right here on the Therapy Gecko podcast. If you're ever asked, with your friend and they say something and you're like, what do you mean by that? You're a fucking asshole. Never ever ask your friends what they mean when they say things. Just say that's a great point. You're awesome. You're amazing. I never thought of it that way. What's your name again? Lilith. Lilith, living in Frankfurt, Germany, the Silicon Valley of Germany. What's up? How's life? What do you want to talk about today?
Life is pretty good right now, actually, but something really crazy happened to me recently. So I have one ex-boyfriend, and right now I actually live with my second ever boyfriend in an apartment. But I have one ex-boyfriend, and this crazy story happened recently, and I'm trying to think of a fake name for my ex-boyfriend.
Danny.
Danny? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we were all invited to a mutual friend's birthday party because I come from a small town, and everybody kind of knows each other. Or it's not even a small town, but there's this gigantic friend group of people who are similar, and so everybody's friends with everything. But everybody also gossips about each other and kind of secretly hates each other. And so we were invited to this birthday party at it's like a pub, but it's really cool. And actually one of our friends' mothers owns the pub, so that's kind of one of the places where shit goes down, you know. But we were at this birthday party, and then my ex-boyfriend also showed up, and he kind of invited himself. So he was also there, and then I had like 8 beers, and I don't know, I was having fun. And at some point, everybody went outside to smoke cigarettes, and I was sitting inside rolling a cigarette actually at the table. And then he was sitting there, and he was wearing a T-shirt with one of the main characters from my favorite anime on it. And my favorite anime is Neon Genesis Evangelion. I don't know how you pronounce it. Do you know it?
I'm familiar with it.
Okay. So he had Ray on his T-shirt, like the blue-haired girl who's not really real. And then like a funny, I don't know, like a funny phrase on the T-shirt as well. And it was really awkward because it was just the two of us. And then I was like, oh, nice shirt. And he was being stupid and, I don't know, talking to me, but I didn't really understand. And then he kept saying, oh, you know, I got a tattoo of the anime, haha. And I thought that he was making a joke because I actually do have a tattoo of the face of one of the characters whose name is Lilith. And so is my name. Like, that's my name. So naturally, I got her face tattooed on my right arm, on my right underarm. And then I went outside to smoke a cigarette. And then I said, oh, Danny wanted to show me a tattoo. And then someone else said, oh my God, Lilith, Danny got the exact same tattoo as you. And then I was like, okay, hold my cigarette. And I went inside and I was like, Danny, show me your fucking tattoo. And then he showed me his right underarm. And he has the same tattoo, the exact same tattoo as me, which also means my name on his arm.
Well, did you guys just get the same tattoo kind of coincidentally?
No, I've had this tattoo for many, many years, and he knew. I've had it for years. It was my second tattoo, I think. And yeah, I think I made him watch the anime because I was always talking about it, and he didn't really know it before. Yeah.
Did he, like, when he showed it to you, did he say that he got it because of you?
No. Actually, he said that he was gonna get some other stuff tattooed on his right underarm, and I talked to some of his friends about it, and I even texted his mom because I was really creeped out. And I mean, I don't want this guy to crash out. I want him to be well. And so this didn't seem like what a well person would do to me. And so I texted his mom, and she texted me back and said, and he didn't do it to piss me off, and that he's been wanting that tattoo for a long time and stuff like that. And I don't know what I expected because she's the nicest person in the whole world, and she could never, I don't know, have a, I don't know. It was not what I expected, but I don't know what I expected at the same time. But yeah, but everybody finds it really weird. I've talked to a lot of people about this, and they all find it really disturbing. But for some reason, no one said anything about it to him, because he also told everybody that he was gonna get that tattoo. But it is well known around my town that that is my tattoo, because I can't shut up about the tattoos I have. Like when I become an animal when I'm a little drunk, and so everybody knows that is the tattoo that I also have.
When you become an animal?
Yeah, not like you, like in the head, you know?
How have you become, what happens to you when you become an animal?
When I drink wine, when I drink wine, I go a little crazy, you know?
Interesting. Okay.
And then I start going up to guys with guitars and tell them to play a song, and then I sing, but I can't really sing. Or I start crying and and sit somewhere and or start showing people my tattoos and explaining the whole story of the tattoo.
Lilith.
I guess that's not that crazy.
Who are you, Lilith? What are you doing in the middle of Germany?
I just live here. I just live normal life like everybody else.
What do you dream of?
I dream of a quiet world where, I don't know, where everybody is just not afraid to be themselves. That's so boring. Who doesn't dream of that?
But there's a lot of people who don't dream of that.
Yeah, I guess.
Hitler didn't dream of that.
Yeah.
I don't think that the president of McDonald's dreams of that.
Probably not.
I don't think Michael Jordan dreams of that. I think he's busy doing like brand deals and running companies and stuff.
Yes.
Who's in charge of Apple computers? That guy, he doesn't dream of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of people who don't dream of that. They're thinking about other stuff. Lilith.
I dream of wild horses. Yes.
Have you seen a lot of wild horses lately?
In my dreams. No, I've never seen a wild horse, but I would like to very much.
Do they have those they have horses in Germany, right?
Not wild horses. They have lots of horses in like enclosures, but not wild horses, sadly.
It's a whole ass country. They don't have any horses, like wild horses. There's not like one.
No, we don't even have natural lawns. I don't even know the English word for, like, just wild grass.
Woods?
Space.
Forests?
No, we have forests. We have lots of forests. Most of them are artificial, though. Wiese is the German word for just like wild grown lawn grass with flowers and bees. We barely have that. We only have like fields. It's really sad.
Lilith.
Yes.
Where do we go when we die?
Where do we go when we die? Fuck around and find out. I don't know. What kind of question is that?
What kind of question is that?
Yes.
You know, I thought we established at the beginning of this conversation that it's not good to ask people what they mean by things.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. You're right.
I forgive
I
you.
apologize.
Don't worry about it. Lilith?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
Instead of getting something tattooed to creep or to piss someone off, you should do something else, like throw eggs at their house or something like that. So don't do that. And then secondly, live free. Live so freely that your existence is an act of rebellion. or whatever that one guy said.
Thank you for calling, Lilith.
Thank you for answering.
I don't watch anime. That's all nerd shit. No, did I watch an anime recently? What did I watch recently? I watched Sakamoto Days. I liked that one. I'm gonna start watching Scavenger Rain. I don't know if that counts as anime though. I like animation. I don't know. There's this anime I watched when I was in middle school. It was called Sergeant Frog. The main character, if you look this up, it's called Sergeant Frog. The main character actually looks like me. I haven't watched that in a while, but I like it a lot, so I might go back and watch it. That was the Therapy Gecko podcast. I'm Lyle, and this is the outro to the Therapy Gecko podcast. That was nice. That was a very chit-chatty podcast. I guess all of them are chit-chats. I guess all podcasts are kind of chit-chats, except like the Batman ones where they like do like a dramatization of Batman. Those aren't chit-chats. Those are like tell a story about Batman. Do I have anything else to say? I feel like I do. Thanks for listening. I say that every time, though. What more do I have to say? I think the older I get, and the more I experience, and the more I learn, the more I think the older I get, the more futile it feels to feel like I know anything. But that's actually nice. I think knowing everything is bad. Knowing everything is bad. And not knowing things is okay. It's good. It's actively beneficial to life to not know things. So, if your mom is still around, go look at her. If you have anyone else in your house right now, go look at them. If you're alone, look in a mirror and go, wow, look at that. This is insane. Psychedelic. All right. Thank you all. I'll be back soon. Go do something else with your life. Go walk around. Maybe you're walking around while you're listening to this already. I'm very sleepy. I'm gonna go. Am I gonna go eat the pints of ice cream? I really want to. Fuck, I really want to. I don't want to do anything besides do that. I might. I'll let you know if I end up doing it. Or I probably won't. Alright, thank you.